हेलो एवरीवन, नमस्ते। मेरा नाम गीतांजलि है और इस साल CSE 2019 UPSC एग्ज़ाम में मेरे को 32nd रैंक प्राप्त हुआ है। एंड इन दिस वीडियो आई लाइक टू टॉक टू यू अबाउट एंथ्रोपोलॉजी ऑप्शनल की स्ट्रैटेजी मेरी एंड कैसे मैंने आई हैव गिवन 2 मेंस मैंने दी है एंथ्रोपोलॉजी के साथ। तो एंड आई हैव हैड 2 वेरी डिफरेंट एक्सपीरियंसेस। 2018 में इतना अच्छा नहीं रहा मेरा अटैम्प्ट और 2019 में ज़्यादा मतलब आई एम गेसिंग कि अच्छा ही हुआ होगा बिकॉज अभी मार्क्स तो नहीं आए हैं। बट आई लाइक टू टेल यू हाउ आई इम्प्रूव्ड अपॉन 2018 से 19 में, हाउ आई इम्प्रूव्ड अपॉन माई स्कोर इन एंथ्रोपोलॉजी. So there are a few things that I would like to talk about today. First would be that why I chose this optional. Second, I would like to touch upon, what are my optional resources and all of that. And third, something that I want to talk about is what exactly did I do to prepare for my anthropology optional, right? So one of the reasons that I chose anthropology as an optional is my background was zoology, and although that is also available in UPSC as an optional, I looked at the previous year papers for zoology and anthropology and also sociology, and when I saw the zoology papers, very frankly speaking, I did not feel like I wanted to invest so much time and energy in order to study the zoology all over again. It had already been 2 years जब से मेरा graduation हुआ था and zoology वापस पढ़ने का मेरा मन नहीं था. So the very simple reason why I took anthropology was because I didn't feel like taking zoology, and anthropology has a few areas that overlap with zoology, which is part of my liking. Like I like the genetics and evolution part of anthropology, which is why I chose anthropology over zoology, and because of that overlapping area as well. And the third thing that I had referred to while choosing this optional was the resources. So I felt that there are more resources available for anthropology as compared to zoology, and this was even before 2017 Anudeep sir he secured a first rank. So ये उससे भी पहले था, but there was still enough resources and guidance for anthro. So which is why these are the 3 main reasons why I chose anthro. Also, it's a very interesting subject, and anybody who is interested in human society in general will benefit from studying about anthropology. So these were the reasons that I chose the option. Now coming on to my resources, mainly there are 5 breakdowns of anthropology. First is the physical anthropath, second is the social anthropath. For physical anthropology I referred to P. Nath, and I supplemented it with the internet quite a lot. For social anthropology, my main resource in 2018 it was basically Braintree throughout. However, in 2019 I supplemented the Braintree with Muniratnam notes, which is I feel it's good enough for socio-cultural anthropology. For theories, especially chapter 6, that is anthropological theories, most of it was for me from the internet, and I had spent a considerable amount of time researching, and that is what I did for theories. And apart from that, Indian anthropology, Nadeem Hasnain has a standard book, and I refer to a lot of IGNOU notes for Indian anthropology. And these IGNOU notes are available completely free. It's Masters in Anthropology के PDFs are available online, वो आप देख सकते हैं. And in the same for social anthropology also I refer to IGNOU notes for sociology. तो कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स हैं जैसे social structure and society and the concept of social function and all of that. That is something that is very well explained in the sociology IGNOU notes, right? And remaining was tribal anthropology. For that I referred to Khaka committee reports, and a lot of it was supplemented by the internet, because कुछ ऐसे topics हैं tribal anthro में जो standard books में available नहीं है, जैसे कि communalism, regionalism, ethnicity. All of that is basically a lot of current affairs that I had to gather, the latest names, what all tribal conflicts were happening in the northeast, left-wing extremism. So for that I refer to internet a lot, and in general there are a few topics in anthro such as evolution, especially evolution, archaeological anthropology, and that's the ancestry of human evolution, that is Homo erectus, Homo habilis, things like that. So what happens is what is there in the books, especially in P. Nath, is very outdated, and उसके बाद काफ़ी सारी research और काफ़ी सारे fossils वगैरह discover हो चुकी हैं, जिससे information is completely updated right now. So even for evolution and even for human ancestry as well as archaeological anthropology, I would suggest that you please refer to latest sources and latest research which is available on the, you know, on different websites, research websites, and it will be very nice for you to quote some of these researchers and the, you know, author behind those studies in your exam, so that, you know, that gives you that X factor which is different from other people. And this was a basic overview of my resources. Apart from these, anthropology thankfully has a very nice tradition of toppers, you know, putting up all their notes and all their PDFs, all their test series answers and all their question answers, whatever they wrote. So those I refer to very liberally. So Sachin Gupta sir's notes were there. I refer to Anudeep sir's strategy, Sachin Gupta sir notes. There is Harsha Koeshri sir, whose test series is available online. And so all of these resources were actually invaluable in my preparation, because in 2019 I did not take a test series, and it was very easy. Despite that, it was very easy for me to just write answers in my own house and then, you know, just correct it against what the topper is doing, because they know what the gold standard is for anthro. And, you know, a lot of value addition that I received from Sachin Gupta sir's notes, and I hope to actually thank him very, you know, personally if I meet him. And coming to my 2018 and 2019, the difference between my preparation is, as I mentioned in my previous video as well, in 2018 I picked up anthro only after my prelims. उससे पहले मैंने ये गलती कर दी थी कि anthro ठीक से prepare नहीं किया था prelims से पहले. So जब उसको prelims के बाद pick up किया, तो obviously there was this time crunch where, you know, for the first time I'm reading everything, तो उसको revision करने में भी दिक्कत होगी, and then I had to, you know, cut down on how much I would be able to complete. So I could not complete the syllabus, and simultaneously I had also taken a test series where Surbhi ma'am was guiding me, and she was very nice to me as a mentor, because she spent a lot of time reading my absolute trash answers and, you know, things that lacked content, but she sat and she gave me a lot of attention and told me, okay, this is how you write, this is how you put in a diagram here and there. So that guidance was invaluable. And I think, you know, even with limited content, but because I knew how to write better answers and structure them, that is probably why I was able to clear the mains that year. And just to give you an idea, I scored around a 270 in anthropology in 2018, and my main resource was that was Braintree. And just to give you a review of Braintree, it is a good resource, I felt, for someone who is beginning, because that's the one, you know, consolidated resource that you have for almost all subjects within anthropology, and you don't really need to run around looking here and there, but it is wholly inadequate. So that is something that you can read for conceptual clarity, maybe a little bit, but you cannot, I firmly believe that you cannot score 300 above in anthro by reading just one book. So that's the change that I created in 2019, was that I supplemented every topic I saw against, you know, topper answers, and I saw that, you know, is it adequate? Do I have adequate content for a 250 words answer or a 200 words answer? And if I did not, then I would refer to different sources to see. So just to give you a brief overview of the Braintree material, it is adequate for a first reading, like because it is one consolidated source जहाँ पे बहुत सारे, you know, different subjects of anthropology एक ही किताब में हैं, तो मतलब आपको इधर उधर जाना नहीं पड़ता है एक रीडिंग करने के लिए एंथ्रोपोलॉजी में. लेकिन अगर इफ़ यू वांट टू स्कोर अ 300 एंड अबव इन एंथ्रोपोलॉजी, आई थिंक द ब्रेनट्री बुक इज़ नॉट एडिक्वेट, एंड यू विल हैव टू रेफर टू डिफरेंट सोर्सेज फॉर डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट आई डिड डिफरेंटली इन 2019. इस ब्रेनट्री को छोड़ के आई रेफर टू मेनी डिफरेंट सोर्सेज, जैसे लाइक आई मैंशन मुनि रत्नम एंड इग्नू नोट्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट फॉर वैल्यू एडिशन to my notes. And the way I knew that my content was inadequate is because I started writing answers, and based on that, then I would judge against what the toppers had written in that year, or, you know, Sachin Gupta sir and all of those other toppers who have put up their PDFs. I would refer to them and I would see ki, you know, there's a shortage in my content. I don't have enough examples. I have not made diagrams. I have not structured, you know, some dimensions are missing. Just generally relevance you have to give, or if there is a current affairs thing that you can incorporate, you should. And all of that was missing, and that you realize only when you know, compare against it. And then there were some areas jahan pe factually I was incorrect, and conceptually, you know, I did not have enough content. This is especially true for socio-cultural anthropology, which was my weak spot, and so for that I had to refer to different sources. And that is generally the trend what has been. I have spoken to people who have scored above 300 in anthro, and even they concur with me that or they are the ones in fact who have guided me and told me that you do need to refer to multiple sources for anthro. And then this comes into this, you know, brings me to what is note making in anthropology. So I believe for your optional it is important to have notes on every topic, and those notes have to be made in such a way that they are directed towards answering questions in the exam. So what happens is when you refer to multiple sources, एक जगह पे उसको consolidate करना ज़रूरी हो जाता है, क्योंकि again, you know, like I've spoken about it in the previous video that you have to revise everything, so you cannot revise जब हर 3-4 जगह पे एक topic है. So you will have to sit and make notes for everything, and you have to make notes in such a way कि आप आंसर कैसे लिखेंगे एग्ज़ाम में, तो आपकी नोट्स भी उसी हिसाब से होने चाहिए कि you know you have put enough dimensions. अगर आपको डायग्राम इसमें पॉसिबिलिटी लग रही है तो आप उसी में डायग्राम बना दीजिए नोट्स में, सो दैट आपको एग्ज़ाम में सोचना ना पड़े कि कौन सा डायग्राम यहाँ पे बन सकता है कि नहीं. So and so note making has to be done for anthropology, that's what I believe. And then this brings me to answer writing in anthropology. A lot of your answer writing can be done if you have already done it in your notes. मतलब आप अगर अपने notes को इस हिसाब से बनाओ कि आपके answer writing अच्छी रहे, कि you think of the exam when you are making notes कि 250 words का length होना चाहिए, 200 words, 150 words, 10 markers, 15 markers, और उसमें आप add कर दो relevance and you add diagrams in your notes as well. फिर answer writing में आपको time नहीं लगेगा, and this also helps in completing the paper on time, because generally ऐसे होता है कि लोगों का पेपर कंप्लीट नहीं हो पाता क्योंकि टाइम कम है, लिखना ज़्यादा है और उसमें सोचना भी है. अभी क्या हो रहा है कि एंथ्रोपोलॉजी का पैटर्न भी थोड़ा चेंज हो रहा है. लाइक पहले ऐसा होता था कि काफ़ी क्वेश्चंस रिपीट हो जाते थे पिछले साल के, अभी दे आर चेंजिंग इट अ लिटिल बिट, दैट इज़ व्हाट आई बिलीव. एंड सो इट्स गोइंग टू टेक टाइम टू थिंक अबाउट इट ऑल्सो. So the way you save time is by when you are making notes itself, then think of the different dimensions that they can ask. For example, there was a question, family as the social organization or something along that line. So if they can ask family, why don't you, while making notes, think about all the other things that they can ask in, in terms of social organization. For example, taboo as a social organization or something like that. So just create a framework and do that in your notes as well, so that you can recreate that in the answers that you make in your exam without having to think so much about structuring. And answer writing practice I have done in 2018 and 2019. So in 18 I took a test series like I mentioned with Surbhi ma'am, and that was my answer writing. I did not write answers at home, but in 2019 I chose not to take an answer test series because I had already acquired the basics. And I did not feel like it becomes difficult to manage time when there are more than one test series going on. So what I did is that I started writing answers in the home, and then I checked them against topper copies. And I had a friend, Ananya Kirti, who's also a rank holder this year. So we used to sit and prepare the answers together, and we used to hash out what could be better. We used to check each other's answers and things like that. So that is what worked for me this year. I would not recommend it to anybody. Like a lot of people give test series and anthro and they benefit from that. However, I am not one of them, and I just want to bring that out because I would like to say that it's a possibility. It is not out of the world for you to not take a test series for your optional. And this is what I wanted to refer to about my difference in 2018 and 2019. Now coming to the last thing that I wanted to say about anthropology is a few overarching rules or do's or don'ts that I think are required. First is you need to make your answers relevant. So if they are asking about something about evolution, if they are asking about human genetics, things like that, one of the good ways of making your answer relevant is to bring out current affairs, especially in the conclusion. So if it is something about human genetics, kindly bring out in current affairs how human genetics is being used, like CRISPR-Cas9, you are editing human genes to maybe create designer babies or have eventually neo-eugenics that has been spoken about. Try to bring out the relevance of every topic, and if you sit and think about it, there is a relevance to everything because anthropology is the study of man. So that is a good way to distinguish your answers from other people, and eventually essentially it is a competitive exam. So you need to be able to write different and write better. So one is the content and then is the value addition. So content you will get by referring to different sources. Value addition you have to do on your own by, again, you can refer to toppers, you can refer to other people's answers, you can refer to the internet, or you can refer to current affairs. But you need to keep, while you are studying this exam, you need to keep your mind and ear open, you need to keep your eyes and ears open about this thing and incorporate them in your notes itself. That is one thing. Another thing that you need to focus upon is diagrams. Of course, anthropology gives you a lot of leeway to make diagrams, especially in the physical anthro part, but also in socio-cultural anthro. And apart from that, anthropology as a subject, although I've mentioned this a lot of times, it's that there are a lot of resources available for anthro. So please look at what toppers have done. They are the golden standards, like I have repeated. I myself will be sharing everything online. I have a Telegram channel. There are other toppers like Yogesh Patil sir, who has cleared with 63 rank this year, and rank 22 Bandar Patki is also from anthro. So we'll all be sharing our strategies and our PDFs. So please refer to them as well. And so this is what I wanted to say regarding anthropology, and thank you for watching DKP.